that. The second one is a little harder, and it's, you know, like Mr. Amadei has the sage grouse, you know, Chris Stewart's got the horses. That's because it has such an, you know, just such an enormously adverse impact on my state, but it's not just my state, it's frankly the West. And I have a couple of visuals here. I'm going to pass them around. And again, Mr. Secretary, I know you know this, but it's something that's worth showing. You know, this shows a 26-year history. This is what the range used to look like in my district 26 years ago. Healthy grasses could support wildlife, could support horses. This is what it looks like now. It's just dirt. Dirt and some sagegrass. I got page after page of examples of this. Again, this is what it used to look like. This is what it looks like now. It's just dirt because of the overabundance of wild horses. And this is what it leads to, and it's the last thing I'll show. This is a horrible picture, but this is what people need to recognize. This is what it leads to. It's like building a zoo and not feeding the animals, starving them to death. And you have these, you know, otherwise, you know, beautiful animals that you and I both love. I love the fact that you drove into, or shouldn't drive. Actually, you drove a horse. You rode your horse into the office on the first day. I grew up ranching and farming. I love these animals, and we're trying to help these animals. And one last just anecdotal piece of evidence. You know, an individual I know, he's a horseman. He loves these animals as well. He has a 10-year permit, 330 cows he was supposed to be given on this permit. Some years he's given between 30 and 50 permits is all. And instead of for 4 months, it's for 1 month. And it's because this is what his range looks like, because of the horses. And I'm asking not only you, Mr. Secretary, but frankly this committee and Congress to help us solve these problems. I know there are some horse advocates out there, but I'm telling you, if you care about these horses, you can't look at this and say that's okay. You can't have thousands of them starving to death and go, well, that's all right with me. We've got to do better. And if you would give us your thoughts on that, we'd really appreciate it.
I thank you. And here's where we sit on the horses. By science, the ranges can accommodate around 22,000 horses or so. That's what the range can sustain. We have 108,000 horses. We have about 42,000 horses in a degree of captivity, which we feed the horses, we pay the vet bills, etc. No one loves a horse more than I do. But I am going to host a wild horse seminar in the great state of Nevada, because Nevada has most of the problems. Because we have to figure out a path forward. We spend about $80 million a year on the horse program. The birth control part of the horse program has been by and large a failure. You got to shoot the horse twice with a dart. 24 hours trying to find a horse in the woods, and the same horse is almost an impossibility.
Yeah, at a cost of several $1,000s per horse, too, by the time you round it up and shoot it. Yeah.
And the horses are unique. Some folks look at horse as a pet. Some folks look at horses as livestock, but it's not being managed as either. The horses are this one unique in the burros. Are this one unique animal that we just have decided that we're not going to manage, other than captive, put them in a corral and go to feed. So I think we have to have a seminar with all parts, and let's get a plan, because it's unaffordable at $80 million. It's not only unaffordable, it's inhumane to watch horses overpopulate the same ground and starve. And if you've ever seen a horse starve, it is not a pretty picture. And this is what happens when you kick the can down the road long enough, and it becomes a crisis. And so I think we should have a roundtable, include everybody, but let's get a plan on how to manage the population the way it is. And if it was 23,000 or so, it wouldn't be an issue. But 108, and we're not adopting that many. When the adoption program began, it was fairly successful, but I think we went through that, and now we adopt 3,000 or 4,000 horses a year, and the population doubles I think every 4 years. So, but I would love to work with you, but this is